All right, let us begin with the invocation. Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhe Bhavatu Me Sada Vasudevam Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Hari Om. Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Yes, can someone recollect what is it that we saw last? And we'll go ahead. We had completed the Adhyaya on the Vibhuti Darshana, which was the 10th Adhyaya of the Gita. Yes, please. Anybody?
Yeah, Krishna continues to describe his divine vibhutis from where we continued yesterday. Gives his different forms in the like Garuda for birds and wind and master warrior. I mean, as Rama and the alligator
Ji.
and so on. So many forms, his divine manifestations. And he says that he is a generating seed of all living beings. And no moving or non-moving creature can exist or perish without his uh, without him
Consent. Direction.
consent. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then says that whoever sees whatever one sees as beautiful, glorious, or powerful is just a spark of one fraction of his being. There is actually no end to his divine manifestations. So that is what we saw yesterday.
Ji. So there was no, it was Ananta. The manifestations also are Ananta. There is no start, there is no Adi, there is no Madhya, there is no beginning. If you actually try to exactly see, and if you want to understand what was the beginning, what was the middle, or what will be the end, you'll have to connect with his consciousness. His consciousness is what we can say Sarvavyapi, omniscient, omnipresent, beyond the three times. If you see, the Upanishads also talk about this only, the Brahman. Brahman is supreme, supreme, which is transcending. Transcending what? Limitations. Limitations of what? Limitations of our mind, limitations of our perception, limitation of our, what we can say, understanding. And yet we can understand the Brahman by rising in consciousness. The mind becomes like you see the swimmers, they use a springboard, isn't it, to take when they, especially the divers in the Olympics, you must have seen when they make beautiful artistic dives, they use something like a springboard. They don't hold on to that springboard throughout the time. Something like that. We'll have to learn to use our mind as a springboard. For what? For entering into this kingdom of Brahma Vidya. You can see each of the Upanishads talks about the same thing. Om iti tadaksharamitam sarvam tasyopavyakhyanam. What is Om? Krishna told in Vibhuti Darshana, connect me through Om. I am that Pranava. I am that Bija Mantra. Connect to this. And why Krishna gave so many examples is because when we understand this, we can use that as a madhyam, isn't it? Is it limited just because Krishna has said, say, for example, say, let us say he has given 72 different ways we can connect to the divine. Does that mean there are only 72 ways? No, there are n number of ways. To each of us can choose. That is our Ishta, for example. Now, say Ganesha. Ganesha is our Aradhya, isn't it? For so many of us. And he is the God of learning. Connect with him, receive wisdom, move ahead. Some say I'll connect to Ma Saraswati, some will say somewhere else. But the importance of connecting, finding that link is important because without that link, you cannot go ahead. Om Tat Sat Yatcha Satchideva Tachidmaya Tad Anandamayo Nadyantaha Trikala Tita, that is only Om. So all of this, what Krishna is giving is example of representatives. Krishna talked about, it was interesting because the type of vibhutis Krishna talked about, they were impersonal also, isn't it? Most of them. I am Himalaya. I am Meru among the peaks. But then some were personal also, isn't it? Among Pandavas, I am Arjuna. I am Rama. I'm Skanda. So how does one relate to? He's now equating what is impersonal also and personal also. Vibhutis mean representative, isn't it? And there was an era when a lot of people wanted to become representatives of various companies. Medical representatives would go on with their bags, isn't it? Nowadays it's little bit. Now also they move, but their trends have changed. A lot of digital tools have come in between now. So the traditional marketing patterns have changed. But now becoming a representative of the divine, when somebody says many times, one person said, "Oh, no, no, don't give me example of Tukaram, he was too great. Dhaneshwar too great." Now, what does the meaning of too great mean? Too great is Yadyad Acharati Shrestha. Gita says you can become that. You have to become the example that is being set. These great ones are leading by example. They are sacrificing, they are living their lives, and you, so that you can learn, you can rise in your consciousness. So ultimately, I think we all should become vibhutis, isn't it? Shouldn't that be the aspiration? Kalpana ji is smiling or laughing. Is it too out of reach to think about it, Kalpana ji, or anybody else? What do you think? Impossible? Yes, Kalpana ji is
We
saying
can
something.
try.
We
We can
can try.
try, but we
We
can
can
go
try,
on
isn't
that
it?
path. And every birth,
We can
maybe
go.
we will go up to that level. It will take many more
Yeah, and
years or births.
yes, yes, yes. What is Vibhuti? What is Vibhuti that way? A
Vibhuti is
representative, isn't
extraordinary.
it?
Yeah.
A representative. To somebody, you can become the Vibhuti, isn't it? If you connect with Krishna's consciousness functions through you, you will become that Vibhuti. And this is something which should be the aspiration for us, for all of us. Yes, Kalpana ji, Hariom. So that was one more thing. And then it is something like, it's also a question of you feel very happy also, isn't it? Suddenly divine chooses you. It's like you have a visiting card and I am a representative of, oh wow. People look at the visiting card and say, oh, you are from this company, you are from XYZ organization, you are from this firm. Something like that. Well, that opportunity is there in front of us. Arjuna says, how can I see? Krishna says, open your eyes. See around you. See everywhere. I am here, I am there, I am everywhere. Ekanshena sthito jagat. He says, in one small ansha of my existence, just a small ansha, the entire bhuloka is filled with my existence. But that means nothing to my energies. So I am so powerful. Experience it. Who knows what will happen? So that was something which Krishna shared. And if you remember, Arjuna had asked very clearly, isn't it? Krishna, tell me, just tell me. I don't need anything more. I'm not going to ask you anything beyond that. I want to hear. I am thirsty to understand of your existence. Nobody but the divine can only share about divinity. So I am asking you because you have that adhikara, you have the jnana, and you alone can teach this. What no Deva can teach me, no Danava can teach me. It is only you. And Krishna is told clearly, you tell me, I will not ask you anything more, I will not ask for proof. That was his statement, isn't it? My question is, do you think Arjuna is going to be satisfied? Krishna has given a detailed Vibhuti Darshana. Is he going to be satisfied with the descriptions? Tell me a wonderful award-winning movie story. Somebody tells you that story. Are you satisfied after that? Oh, no, no, very good. It's so many awards. It won so many things. It's okay. Give me the spoilers. No problem. You hear it also. And then what happens after that? You want to watch it, isn't it? So now let us see what Arjuna does because he has given a word. And to whom has he given that word? To God only. To Krishna. He said, Krishna, I just need only this much. And now let us see Arjuna Uvacha. We enter into what is the 11th adhyay. Mad anugrahaya paramam guhyam adhyatma sanyitam yatvayoktam vachastena mohoyam vigato mama. Arjuna said, the secret of spiritual secrets thou hast unveiled. The occult and highest knowledge has been revealed. By the compassion that thou hast upon me showered, my delusion is lifted, and I am by thy grace empowered. For some reason, these vibhutis that were described to Arjuna, they really connected with him. This is important actually, because until it connects, no, even the most beautiful words, flowery words, they'll remain that. Words are also what? They are just a medium. Medium for what? For connecting with the consciousness. It is upon the seeker. The seeker must connect. And Arjuna is that seeker who will not leave the bullseye. He will go. Once he decides to attack his target, he is going to go right into the center only. Something like that. That point Arjuna is saying, yes, Krishna, the secret of secrets you have unveiled. The occult highest knowledge has been revealed to me. So many adhyas, Krishna himself was telling, Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam, I am going to give you this secret. Nobody knew. That time our boss was not very happy or did not exclaim. Right now he is exclaiming. Why? That time was he doubting? No, he still had somewhere an understanding. Because what happens is in today's age, we have what we call a overflow of information, isn't it? Too much information coming in at every point, every second. While we sit also, suddenly we're all multitasking. Suddenly a message comes in and message some, instead of one message, you get 10 messages and something else. Somebody tells you something else. Everywhere it is that. But there's a big difference between information and understanding. Understanding and realization. Realization and experience. It's like sometimes a big gap. People mistake their information as such. I've got the information, so I've got the realization. No, it is not. There's a big gap, and so Arjuna is now somehow the dots are connecting. That gap is also he's transcending one stage. What Krishna told before, also he is having smriti of it. He hasn't forgotten it, but now he's understanding. You know what will happen if we start getting this experience in life? Anybody, what is the potential if we start understanding fully the purport of the Gita, the message of Krishna, if we understand it, what difference will it make in our life? Shravanam is nice. It is good to hear. Many times people like to repeatedly listen to various chanting of various mantras and shlokas. That is fine. But then some people study the Vyakarana also. Some people study they do the Padacheda and each word, meaning, all of it is fine. Sometimes you understand summaries, all of it. But when you realize the shloka, how does it make a difference in your life? Anybody, if you can just tell me, what is the difference? Because that will make a difference when we go ahead now. Yes, anybody?
Our quality of life will improve in every single level, be it physical, vital, mental, psychic, will improve in all possible ways. Mainly psychic. Yes,
Integrally.
integral
In all
improvement of
our,
life.
you're able to connect, you're able to connect. It is not like right now when I'm doing dhyana, I'm looking like Shiva. And then after dhyana, I become Narakasur or Bakasur. Immediately after dhyana, Deva has become Danava. Why? Because that time that was my different portion, compartment of my personality. It is not got integrated. So this is something which Rajrupaji pointed out. Yes, if we bring it in all dimensions of life, and for that we have to understand Arjuna may be a little slow because it took him 10 adhyayas. But now let us see. The 11th adhyaya, he is saying, Krishna revealed the secrets. My delusion is gone. I am now conscious that you are present. I am understanding your presence. I am understanding your ways. In our life, when we realize it, we might actually find the reason why we fell also. There are moments which shake us. There are moments which make us anxious. There are moments sometimes which break us when we go back into a memory. Why did I have this? This should not have happened. I don't care. I don't like this. I can't tolerate it. Even the memory of a past incident sometimes triggers what we call panic response and other things inside of people. But when the dots connect, you're able to objectively see, you'll be able to watch a soul growth. Some people even get clairvoyance. They can understand stories Means it's like you know the picture, you know the prequel also, you know the sequel also. What is happening afterwards? Also, some guess you get the hints. So that something is happening inside of Arjuna right now, and he's bringing those links. He goes on, Bhavapyayau hi bhutanam shrutau visarasho maya tvattaha kamala patraksha mahatmyamapi javyayam. He says, I have heard about all the existences from their birth and also in detail of their progression to and after death. Oh, lotus-eyed one. It's called Kamala Patraksha. Krishna's eyes, they are so beautiful, like that of a lotus. So he says, oh, lotus-eyed one, I have listened of the soul and its imperishable, all-pervading greatness as a whole. This confirms our understanding or assumption, isn't it? That Arjuna is now connecting the dots because last Adhyay, Krishna didn't talk about Mrityu and journey, isn't it? That was told long back in the 8th Adhyay. Krishna talked about the Marga. Before that, he's talked about the Atman. He's talked about how the Atman is. That started in the 2nd Adhyay. But Arjuna did not fully understand. Because he couldn't connect the dots, he didn't really understand it. But now that his understanding is filled with a sense of peace and quietude, he's become more receptive and he's saying, yes, now I understand this. Krishna, I heard of all of this from you. He goes on further. Evametadya yathatha tvamatmanam parameshwara drishtumichhami te rupam aishwaram purushottama. So Krishna says, O Lord, as thou hast said about thy divinity, so art thou. I do understand with clarity. He says, Krishna, everything that you said about you, I understand. I understand that is true. One of the specialities of Arjuna was his great memory, you know. He had a wonderful smriti also of things. He's saying he is able to now quickly recollect. Actually, we are very lucky we have Bhagavad Gita to read anytime, no? We can read the book again and again and we can try to also go deeper. That is one advantage that we have. But that is why people again and again study the Gita. It doesn't become boring. Normally, one book is read. I saw a best-selling author. I had gone to her book launch. She herself was saying, this book is not going to be read more than once. I felt so bad. How can you say that? Your book is your own book. You're talking about it. She has got this same romantic novel which I've written. It's a family, some kind of comedy. It's about relations and everything. But once you know the story, why will you read it again? She was just talking about her own book and she was berating it for no reason. But I don't know. I didn't read the book, so I can't really comment or agree with her. But Bhagavad Gita is something which doesn't get boring because, we go deeper. We form our links. We connect with our life. Some people connect with past lives also when they get that smriti. That we don't understand. So let's not worry about that. When we get our processor and software update, we will see that. Maybe we will be able to understand it. But right now, at least in this current life, as a practical manner, we can see it because Arjuna, right now, also in real time, is telling Krishna, now I understand. I understand this journey of the soul, the journey towards death and how it goes beyond death. I can understand all of what you have said, Krishna. He says, but about your divinity, yes, whatever you say, boss, that is true. I'm not going to doubt you. I'm not going to question. That becomes my pramana. So he has established Krishna as his Shraddhasthana without doubt. He's not going to question. He is not going to question. This will save the iterations, no, of verification. Because if you verify also, it is going to come true, but probably verification takes the time. So instead of that, Arjuna is now saying, "Ki, Chalo, let me fasten the process. Krishna, what you say, that is true for me. But there's always a but. He says, but, oh greatest supreme, I desire to see thy physical self and form. Please display to me. He says, Drishtam ichhami, I wish to see. Now, isn't Arjuna contradicting the Arjuna of the last Adhyaya by saying, I wish to see? Last time he said, I don't wish anything, you just tell me. Is he contradicting or is he not? Looking at it objectively, anybody.
He has become more curious
Yeah, that
after
is true.
hearing.
Yeah, but
After hearing,
yes,
now
ma'am, but
he is Yeah.
Yeah. No, we are understanding why he is doing it. But I'm saying in on the ground situation, he has contradicted, isn't it? He said, I just want to hear. And now he says, no, that was not enough. I want to see. Hasn't he contradicted his stance? Yes,
He's just
Vinitaji?
gone one step further, probably. It's not
All right.
something
So
opposite.
you don't agree. It's not opposite. All right. Okay, Vinitaji says it's not opposite. Fine. Anybody else? I feel he has said I wanted to only hear. Hearing is enough. But now he has made a new demand, which is changing his last demand of only hearing. He says, I want to see. But interesting aspect is he's not going to say sorry at all. I said this only. This is something very nice we can draw when we're, as Vinita ji also said, it is not wrong. Why is it not wrong? Because there's sincerity, there's an aspiration. So it is not wrong. As his understanding progresses, he says, oh my God, if this is so great, why not get a darshan? Darshan do ghansham nath muri akhiya pyasi re. My eyes are thirsty. And who can understand the thirst of a bhakta? Only somebody who's got that bhakti. And even the Krishna or even the
Probably.
Aradhya. Yeah, Rajrupaji, please tell me.
So
Yeah.
this is just comparing with this thing. Like initially he wanted to just hear. It's like initially we could just hear things on radio, then we started seeing things on TV. So it like makes enhances the experience more. So therefore he said I would want to see.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
finally it's like
absolutely. Absolutely.
experience.
Audio visual effect.
Yeah. Okay. So Kalpana ji and Rajrupaji says, yes, we all would prefer. That is why I ask everybody to please turn on video feeds, but everybody doesn't complete. So I also get Vishwarupa type of darshan, but I don't get it. But anyway, let us continue. Krishna says, but, O greatest supreme, I desire to see thy physical self and form, please display to me. He says, please, hey Krishna, show that. Again, there is a limit. I can see human eyesight has a limitation of vision also, isn't it? We cannot see what is infrared. We cannot see what is ultraviolet. All our indriyas are limited that way. We can't hear what is infrasonic, what is ultrasonic, we can't hear. Touch also, we have a particular capacity. We are below this temperature, you cannot, you will not, when extremely cold temperature will suddenly make you numb. Extremely hot temperature will also make you numb because it is beyond the capacity. So each of our senses are limited. That is why we say our mind, which is processing what is received by the senses, is also limited. So now Arjuna knows this. And so because he knows how he can find a solution also. He's also offering the solution already to Krishna. He's, yeah, I know I'm limited. I don't know. We say that, no, avahanam na janami visarjanam pujam chaiva na janami shamyatam parameshwari. Mantrahinam, Kriyahinam, Bhaktihinam, Sureshwari, Yat Pujitam Maya Devi, Paripurnam Tatastu me. So whatever it is, you can complete it. Hey Bhagwan, I am incomplete. I don't have that much bhakti. I don't have that much devotion. I don't have that much knowledge. I don't know the mantra. I don't know the kriya. But I am sincere and I'm offering. Please, if you wish, you can complete it. So you do the remaining part of completing it. Something like that, with that bhava, the next shloka comes. This also shows that they say neki or puch, something like that. When you're asking for the divine, you don't have to feel all, oh no, I said this that day, then I should not say. You have understood your mistake. That is enough. God will also understand because here Krishna is now beautifully, wonderfully asked this way. He says, Manya se yadi tat shakyam maya drushtum iti prabho. Yogeshwara tato me tvam darshayatmanam avyayam. So Krishna says, Arjuna says, if it is thy will, O Supreme God, I shall be able to see thee, my Lord, for it is only by thy divine grace that your almighty form I can witness or face. He says, Krishna, all is possible if you will it. So please will that I see. Please give me that Ashirvada that I will be able to see you. That is all that I'm asking. Nothing more, nothing less. It's actually Krishna can understand that is in brackets as of now. But right now, Arjuna wants this. But he has now got the Asa for Darshana. Sindhuji, we had looked at it as with an example of your daughters, isn't it? Your beautiful daughters,
Yes,
when
sir.
they ask you for a chocolate, you
Yes,
consent.
sir.
If they are behaving very well, you consent, isn't it? But
Yes,
if they
sir.
say, "Mommy, I want one more chocolate," what happens then? Sometimes you give it, no? अच्छा ठीक है, ज़्यादा नहीं खाने का, but
Yes, sir.
first they say
Depending on
only
the
one.
situation.
Yeah, but initially they say only one, only one. I want only one, and after that
Yes,
is
sir.
then there comes another demand. So you say, all right. Of course, Krishna also is understanding Arjuna's sincere desire, which is an aspiration. This is something which is always is allowed for a Shishya. That is why we have these great mantras where we invoke the divine to give us strength. Give me strength, give me wisdom, give me direction. All these are what we say when you are doing sadhana, you should not have such wants. But these are not just wants, these are aspirations for growing towards the divine. There's one dharma, which one that is the only desire that is not wrong is to uphold dharma. So this is the dharma of the sadhaka, to ask the divine. If you don't ask the divine, whom will you ask? Look at the great mantras. You see, if you see Rudram is followed by Chamakam, no? In the Chamaka mantra, it is all cha me means give me this. Shan cha me, mayan cha me, priyam cha me, nukamas cha me, somarasas cha me, bhadram cha me. Ultimately, it ends Susha cha me, sujinan cha me. Give me a good day. I want to. We wish our friends also have a great day. All of that we say that, isn't it? Why do we need? We want a nice day, and so it's not wrong asking for the divine. And Arjuna has asked. Arjuna is patra. Arjuna has done good karma, which has made him receptive, and Krishna is now going to declare yes. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Pashya me Partha Rupani Shatashotha Sahasrashah Nana Vidhani Divyani Nana Vrana Kratina cha. O Arjuna, behold, for I shall display to you my 100,000 forms shall stand in your view, all divine in their multitudinous shapes, hues, and kind, in all their dimensions that are otherwise beyond the mind. So Krishna is saying, I am going to reveal to you all which are beyond the dimensions that you understand also. They are beyond the mental. So whatever over mental, supramental, whatever plane that may be, those are also going to get visible. Is I will display 100,000 forms will stand, not one, 100,000. Is something which is a great opportunity. He goes on, he says, Pashyadityan Vasun Rudran Ashvinau Marutastatha Bahunya Društapurvani Pashyascharyaani Bharata. Observe, O Arjuna, the many forms of the Adityas, the Vasus, the Ashwini Kumars, the Maruts, and the Rudras. None before on earth have ever thus witnessed these supramortal wonders, none have experienced. Arjuna, watch. Krishna says, see what you're aspiring. All the different forms of Adityas. We've only heard of different forms of Adityas, isn't it? For us, what is Aditya? Brilliant light, which is too bright for us to see. That's all. But here, Krishna is saying, you see all the different forms. What are the hues? What are the colors? What are the ways? So the Adityas are there. The Vasus are also there. The Ashwini Kumars, the nimble horsemen, the gods of the Ayurveda, they are also the twins, the twin gods, they are also standing in front of you. The Maruts, the Rudras, even the great Rudras, they are also standing. All the Vedic devatas that have been, probably we don't find them in many temples. We don't know how the Vedic devatas looked. Arjuna is getting to see all of them right now. And nobody, Krishna is saying, has experienced this, what you are now experiencing. He goes on, Ihaikastham jagatkritsnam pashyadhyasa characharam mama dehe gudakesha yachanyat drushtumichhasi. Every single thing that you wish to see, every single darshana, I'm giving it to you. He says, witness today, O Arjuna, the universe complete, with all the mobile and immobile forms replete. Observe them to be united, but yet a part of me, and also glimpse everything else that you wish to see. Krishna is saying, observe everything, all that you have aspired for. This is actually the height of a bhakta, the ability to get the darshana. That moment is considered to be the most sacred one, most special one. And Arjuna has finally got it. All his tears, all his suffering, all his pain, all his worries. Now it suddenly is looking like, okay, justified. It was all for this. It was creating the ground for him to be ready, ready to receive something higher. But the question is again the same thing, isn't it? You cannot watch with your ordinary eyes. Has anybody gone to watch a 3D movie anytime? Yes. Has anybody tried watching the 3D movie without these glasses that are given? Yes. Anybody?
Yes, I have tried many times.
Okay, Anjuji has tried. Vinitaji says, you have also tried, Vinitaji?
Yes, it looks blurred.
It looks
Blurred, blurred.
blurred and you get a headache also, isn't it? I have
Yeah.
also tried. So you don't enjoy also, you cannot, because you're not able to see, you're not able to fully visualize it because of the eyes. Our eyes are having some limitation. So Krishna is also probably going to give Arjuna some, what we can say in Sanskrit, the glasses are called Upanetram. Eyes above the eyes. So what kind of eyes or what special glasses Arjuna is going to give, or suddenly there's going to be an operation table and Krishna is going to become either an ophthalmologist or a special doctor and do some surgery. Let's see what he says. He says, Natu mam shakyam drushtam anenaiva swachakshusha divyam dadami te chakshuhu pashya me yogam maishwaram. Because Divyam Dadami Te Chakshu, I'll give you that divine eye. Everywhere Krishna is saying he is doing everything, isn't it? He says, Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam. I'll give you the knowledge. Here he says, I'll give you the eye. Basically, in sadhana, whose job is it to give? It is the divine, isn't it? So, so tell me who has a greater headache, the receiver or the giver? If you have to
The
give
giver.
something, give her only, isn't it? So what should we do? We should probably just जैसे राम हमारा काम करे हम बैठे आराम. So keep doing your karma. Don't worry about what's going to come to you. The giver will keep giving, and he'll give sometimes more. We have only two hands. We can receive only with two hands, but the giver has so many hands. We can give so much more than we can receive as well. There's a nice Marathi phrase, Ananta haste kamala varane, deta gheshela titi don karane. You have two hands, and the giver is having so many, and he has this ability to give everything that's required. The question is not whether he can give or not. The question is, are you capable of receiving it? Can you hold it? Can you contain what is being given? That is why Arjuna had to get ready. You see, Krishna had to wait for Arjuna to come to this moment. Or he had to wait for Arjuna to be ready to receive the darshana. The giver of the darshana could have given in the first moment, isn't it? Duryodhana got before without asking also in the Mahabharata. His story, it was too much that it even erased his memory, he forgot what he saw also. So the giver would have given any time, but Arjuna had to become Patra. So we have to just worry about raising our consciousness and becoming worthy. One participant shared her experience. I do not know if I have shared in this group about it yet. I don't think I have shared it in this group. Till date, her experience of Vishwarupa is by far the most detailed experience of Vishwarupa anybody got. I find it even more deeper than this Adhyay itself. And that was her experience. Why was she so lucky, or these are all questions that we can ask. But the point is, Vishwarupa is Can you see me? Anybody? Is it audible?
Can't hear. Can't hear, sir. It is frozen, sir. You can't listen, sir.
Hari Om. Yes. Can you hear me? Hari Om.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I had to probably ask Krishna also. Devyam Dada. Internet Dada too. Better network. I think yes. So where you were hit this point where Krishna said Divyam Dadami Te Chakshu. So I'll give you that eye. I'll give you that eye that will make you capable. Capable of what? Capable of seeing this brilliant what we can call the Vishwaroopa. You will become worthy with that ability. So he is going to awaken it. Krishna says, by the mortal eye, you cannot just see and bear the vision that will soon be. There is an inner eye which I shall now awaken within you, so that a vision of my divine yoga you can behold and view. So Krishna says this that you cannot see just like that with the mortal eye. That vision will be unbearable. Instead, there is something called a Divya Chakshuhu. This Divya Chakshuhu will allow you to see and you'll be able to bear this wisdom. Chitral ji says she can't listen. Is anybody else facing the same trouble? Avanti, is anybody else facing the same trouble?
No, sir, you're audible now.
All right. So yes, so Krishna has said that you will be able to. I'll give you that eye which will allow you to see. Now, the question is Arjuna an alien? Or is human like all of us? Inner eye, Krishna is saying, I'll awaken inside of Arjuna because he has that socket or something. What is it? Or is this inner eye there inside all of us? That is my first question. I'll have two questions before continuing. One is, isn't this inner eye there in everybody then? This inner eye is the eye which will allow you to see the truth. Many times.
Yes, it is there. It has to be awakened.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And how is it awakened, sir, Raviji? What do you think are the ways one can try to awaken them?
It's only getting connected to the universal consciousness. And
All
for
right.
that, there are, several means like, one of the ways is, this meditation, for example,
Yeah,
or
no.
concentrating through your Agni chakra.
Yes. Ji, sir. Ji, sir.
So these are the things I think which
Yeah,
can,
that is
and
one.
it requires a long
Sometimes
time. It's not easy. It requires a long time.
it requires a long time. Sometimes it requires anugraha of Guru also. It requires the sadhana as well. Because
Yeah,
sadhana will give you siddhi. Without sadhana, siddhi will not come, no?
nothing will
So,
come without sadhana.
yes, yes, absolutely, sir. Ji,
Lots of
sir.
efforts, lots of efforts.
Yeah, yeah. But it is there in everybody. So we cannot say we are it's not present or we don't have a chance at all. No, everybody has the equal chance. They'll have to make the most of it. Chance is there for everybody, only people are not using it. That is the problem. So, but if we can try, we can. So that was one thing. My second question, more importantly, is what if you were in Arjuna's place and Krishna says, I'll give you the vision, the darshana. Anybody will quickly hear your perspective and quickly move on into the darshana. Yes, please. Anybody. If Krishna says it's you, what will be your bhava, emotions, what feelings, what thoughts? What would be the state of mind?
Overwhelmed, sir. Overwhelmed.
Okay, Sindhuji says overwhelmed. All right. Anybody else would like to?
Gratitude.
Gratitude. Gratitude, overwhelming feelings. Regarding happiness, it will be, you will have ecstasy, isn't it? Absolute happiness, something like on the highest state. Any negative emotions will come in? No, isn't it? Not really. How can negative emotions be associated with the darshana? So let us see now, because Arjuna is getting it. He's asked for it, and he's got what he's asked for. Sanjaya Uvacha. Eva Mukta Tato Rajan Mahayogeshwaro Harihi Darshayamasa Parthaya Paramam Rupam Maheshwaram. Sanjay spoke, with these words, O king, the lord of yoga, Krishna, blessed Arjuna with his supreme form's revelation, the Darshana, the destroyer of all sins, the Godhead divine, displayed to him all his infinite forms, resplendent and fine. So Krishna says that. He says, Sanjay is saying that Krishna is now displaying the Vishwaroopa Darshana. So you can just imagine from the Sharira of Krishna, his Sarathi, Krishna, his friend, Krishna, his elder, suddenly the limitation of boundaries are only breaking. And from that Krishna that he knows, a dynamic Vishwaroopa Darshana. It is not like somebody has brought a banner and showing a picture. It's actually coming out and emanating. And Arjuna is receiving it. He goes on, Aneka Vaktra Nayanam, Aneka Adbhuta Darshanam, Aneka Divya Bharanam, Divyaneko Dyatayudham. So there is Aneka Ayudha also, Aneka Nayana. Each and everything, Krishna says, the Godhead with the infinite eyes and faces, armed with weapons and warheads, divine, at different places. It's not just having some small weapons. Kalpana ji wants to say something. Yes, please. Yeah, ji.
How Sanjay without the Divya Chakshu he can see all this?
Oh, he has got by Vyasa's prasada. He's able to explain it. You see, Sanjay was able to see it. Arjuna didn't have the. Sanjay had Divya Drishti, no? Live report coverage is going on.
Yeah.
Dhritarashtra wants to know. And Sanjay is immediately saying everything that's happening. He is able to report because it's a Divya Drishti. Something like that. There's another character called Barbaric. He also had a Divya Drishti to be able to see it. Yes,
Yeah.
ji. So he's reporting.
Okay.
Dhritarashtra is inferring. Dhritarashtra is just hearing. But Sanjay
So
is.
Sanjaya also
Those-
gets to see the Vishwarupa, like
Yeah,
does
yes,
Barbaric
yes,
also get to see
yes,
the Vishwarupa?
yes. It appears that way, isn't it? From the shloka, at least clearly, it is Sanjay who is describing it to Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra
Without
has to be
asking,
Sanjay.
without asking Krishna, he is able to see the Divya Rupa.
Ah, lucky, isn't it?
Lucky.
Yes, ji. Let us continue. Yes. So, armed with weapons and warheads, divine, at different places. Means not just weapons, there are warheads also. You can just assume nuclear weapons, these huge ones, no, something like that from this Vishwarupa. Is Krishna, his Sarathi is so cute and he was so, what we can say relatable in height and everything, in personality. Suddenly from that personality, there is this flooding of consciousness of supreme divinity. It is just from that mortal envelope, there's a stretching. There is a, one kind of progression. What is he seeing? Infinite eyes and faces. If anybody has one extra eye, that person starts looking weird, isn't it? Here is not one, two. There are infinites of eyes, infinite faces, with countless divine jewels and ornaments gleaming. So we know the Kaustubh money, we know different money or great jewels which are very special and legendary. Well, what Arjuna has heard, he is seeing, and he's also seeing what he has not heard. So many jewels, it's so rich and gleaming. Divyamalyambaradharam, Divyagandhanulepanam, Sarvascharyamayam Devam, Anantam Vishwatomukham. Garlanded with heavenly adornments and celestial scents and fragrant anointments. A surreal being stood before him with infinite mouths replete, and a splendorous brilliance embellished the god complete. So Krishna is no more his Krishna, it is now the Vishwarupa in front of him. Heavenly adornments are there. There are so many garlands of various flowers and celestial scents, fragrant anointments. Just imagine, he's not getting one, two fragrances. It's just it's what we can say. When we go watch a movie, what happens? We use our ears, we see our eyes. They are only getting stimulated. Here, Arjuna's all indriyas are getting stimulated. He's able to get the smell also, most fragrant, most beautiful. Think about Chandan, think about Champa, think about so many different fragrances, and they're like all of them coming at one time. Normally, when one strong fragrance comes, what happens? It masks everything else, isn't it? But Arjuna is not able to come to terms with what's happening. All sides. And it's so beautiful, it's so mystic, it's so mysterious. And a very new being. It's not his Krishna who is standing in front of him. Arjuna sees a very different being standing in front, and that is filled with a brilliance, emanating a light that is splendorous. Divi Surya Sahasrasya Bhavedyuga Paduttita Yadi Bhaha Sadrashi Sa Syad Bhasastasya Mahatmanah. As if 1,000 suns had together emerged. So one Surya we can understand. But 2 or 1,000 suns? Anybody? How will it appear to us from the perspective of human beings? 1,000 suns.
Blinding.
Blinding, and absolutely, it's like you see colors also, we can see colors. But in physics, we must have all done that experiment, isn't it? When all the colors are there in a wheel and you quickly move the wheel, all the colors of the rainbow suddenly become white because they merge. So what Arjuna is going to see is pure, unadulterated white light also is able to see that. And maybe as Vinitaji says, it's blinding also. Somehow Krishna is giving him the strength and he's probably in pulse is able to see and try to make some understanding. Boss has not changed his processor only, no? He's only given extra hardware or something. He has opened his Divya Drishti. But Arjuna's processing is going to be according to his limitation of mind. So that is getting overwhelmed at this moment. As if 1,000 suns had together emerged and their brilliance had coalesced and merged. So was the divine's glorious refulgence. So overwhelming was the heavenly magnificence. So Krishna's magnificence was absolutely overwhelming. Tatraikastham jagatkritsnam pravibhaktam anekadha apashya devasya sharire pandavastada. And Arjuna was struck with awe as in the very mortal envelope of Krishna he saw the vision of the God of God Supreme, the mighty creator of existence's every realm. Now, what a saubhagya it is, isn't it, for Arjuna? And in his own friend, his Krishna's Sharira, from that he has got emanation. He's seeing emanations of the Supreme Divinity. And he's completely awestruck by that brilliant vision. We can say gratitude will overflow, no? That feeling he is now, it's just like what he's seeing is also beyond his comprehension. His heart also is now overwhelmed at this sight. Tataha sa vismayavishto dhrishtaroma dhananjayaha Pranamya Shirasa Devam Kratanjalaya Bhashata. Seeing the Vishwarupam, most magnificent and beautiful, and also inconceivably terrible and powerful. It's also giving him goosebumps. Just watching it. He's having what we can say goose flesh. The hairs are standing at their ends on the skin. Trembling at the hair racing and surreal vision, Arjuna prostrated, offering his full bodily submission. Why do we do that? Sashtanga Namaskar. Because we feel, no, I cannot even keep my head. I cannot keep my head above the ground in the presence of this great divinity. I must bow. No anga of mine should remain. That is why people, when many times when they go to the temple, they do a full Sashtanga Dandavat. Why do they do that? Because they know you are so great. I do not think standing in front of you is, I'm not worthy of standing in front. Something like that. And it's natural, isn't it? The feeling of when you recognize divinity, to bow to that divinity, you don't need a shastra, you don't need a manual, you don't need somebody to tell you. It comes naturally, but for that you have to see. Even Sant Tukaram might say, Divyatvachi jeti prachiti, tethe karam maze durati. Means wherever I see divinity, there my hands will automatically bow. I mean, they will come together in this Namaskar Mudra. Well, this is what happens to Arjuna. He is doing full Sashtanga Namaskara. Arjuna Uvacha. Now we see Arjuna speak. What is it that he's feeling? Is he also feeling like how we are just listening, no? But we are still very lucky that, wow, what a description is there in the Bhagavad Gita. We can connect to the Gita. But Arjuna is experiencing it real time. Arjuna Uvacha. पश्यामि देवांस्तव देवदेहे सर्वांस्तथा भूतविशेषसङ्घान् ब्रह्मा ब्रह्माणमीशं कमलासनस्था मृषींश्च सर्वानुरागांश्च दिव्यान्. Arjuna spoke. All the gods and divine beings I now see emanating and expanding from within thee. I can see all the devas coming out from you. They're expanding. Seated in the cosmic lotus, Brahma is the epitome of grace. I also see the mystic sages and those of the divine serpent race. So, Krishna, from you I am able to see all the devas. All the devas are now emanating from you. And look, Brahma is also there. How graceful, how beautiful Brahma is appearing in that lotus, the cosmic lotus. In that Brahma is seated. And I'm also seeing the great rishis, the mystic ones, the Sapta rishis, all of them, and also those of the divine serpent race. Aneka bahu daravaktra netram pashyami tvam sarvatonanta rupam nantam na madhyam na punastavadim pashyami vishveshvara Vishwaroopa. He says, I'm again seeing the Vishwaroopa. Hey Vishveshvara. What is it he's seeing? He's seeing countless arms, stomachs, heads, and eyes. I can see all. Your infinite form, vaster than the skies. So, what is happening? This Vishwarupa is now breaking his limitations of dimension, also, isn't it? Krishna is now vaster than the skies. So, where is this Vishwarupa? Is it in front of him? Or is it behind him? Is it to his left? Is it to his right? Is it to his top? Is it to the bottom? Where is it? Or is it everywhere around him? He's now,
Omnipresent everywhere.
yes, he's overwhelmed because his sense of this dimensions are also lost now. He says, I cannot. He says, neither a beginning nor an end. It's like suddenly a full sea. Our eyes have a limitation to see, isn't it? And there's all of them. And it's not one deva, two deva, three devas. It's like all the devas that he can think of and all he does not know. Also, everything is visible in front of him. It's actually crazy. Oh, behold, once more. He says, neither a beginning nor an end to it can I confirm. Oh, I behold once more the Lord of the universe's universal form. Somebody who sees only can understand that brilliance. It's like how in a microscope also one scientist had brought and shown photographs of different macroscopic objects, how they are on the microscopic level. There were beautiful floral patterns. And there were designs from the, you see, from a microscopic level, looking at all of it, it looked crazy. It was like, wow, how is this looking like this? From this, what we can say, from the Sthula Jagat, we look at it and we get, okay, it's just nothing so big, nothing so great, nothing so significant. But in the Sukshma, in the Sukshma level, as you go, you're able to see. You're able to see so much. Something like that. Arjuna is just overwhelmed. He goes on. Countless terms, countless stomachs. Anybody has heard of Purusha Sukta? One great mantra is there in the Rig Veda also. It is called the Purusha Sukta. Purusha referring to the Supreme Purusha, the divine. Has anybody heard of that? In most Shiva temples, you will see that Sri Rudram and Purusha Suktam. Definitely, any Shiva mandir you go, you will see that chanting going on. Rudra, Purusha Sukta, Lagunyasa, Chamaka or Chamakam. All these are always there. So yes, has anybody heard of it? Or at least knows the first line? First line is Sahastra Shirsha Purusha Sahastrakshas Sahasrapa. Sahastra head, Sahastra eyes, Sahastra hand. Arjuna is actually seeing the Divya Purusha, the same Purusha of the Vedas. Arjuna is now seeing here in front of him. What is described in the Vedas, that he is now directly getting to see. He goes on. Kiritinam Gadinam Chakrinam Cha Tejo Rashim Sarvato Deeptamantam Pashyami Tvam Durniriksham Samantad Deeptanalarka Ditimap Rameyam. With thy crowns, maces, and discs of destruction. Not one chakra, so many chakras in so many hands. We know Sudarshan can destroy our universe, isn't it? Now, God knows how many universes this being can destroy because he is now officially, we can say, scary as well. With thy crowns, maces, and discs of destruction, I witness thy opulence that pervades in every direction. It's rich. This darshana is so rich in all directions it is spreading. Thy overwhelming iridescent luminance, oh so bright, thou art like a brilliant blazing mass of fire and light. Krishna is saying you are just Teja, and I can say you are just like a mass of fire, light just emanating from you. It's iridescent is what he is saying. Anybody has heard of this phenomenon called iridescence? Light out there? Yes. Iridescence, anybody?
Something like that phosphorescence.
Yeah,
It
okay.
glows.
Glows. And the color changes in the
Yeah.
glows, in the hue. So it's not just one colored glow. So now Krishna is not just changing forms. Not only are these forms breaking the dimensions, not only are they overwhelming his senses of eyes and nose, maybe sounds also. They say Rudra is described as Uchair Ghoshaya Krandayate iti Rudra. Rudra is the one who's crying loudly like a big storm. Storms are moving around Arjuna right now. He's seeing fire, he's seeing light, and this is iridescent light also visible, meaning now shades are changing. He does not have to use filters. Automatically, it's changing on its own continuously. He's not able to understand what's going on. It's actually starting to get scary and scary as the moment passes. त्वमक्षरं परमं वेदितव्यं त्वमस्य विश्वस्य परं निधानं त्वम् अव्ययः शाश्वतधर्मगोप्ता सनातनस्त्वं पुरुषो मतो मे. This is a big declaration that Arjuna is making. Sanatanastvam purusho mato me. If anybody remembers in first adhyay, Arjuna had become what we call the self-proclaimed guardian of Sanatan Dharma, isn't it? He was saying, if I participate in this war, what's going to happen? He says, Varna Sankara will happen, Kulakshaya, Mitra Droha, Krishna, don't be greedy. For Sanatana Dharma, you should allow me to run away from this battle. That's what he was trying to say. And right now, he suddenly understood who's the boss. He declares, he says, Sanatanastvam Purusho Matome. You are the guardian, you are the Sanatan guardian. It is you who are protecting it, and that is why, because you are there, this Dharma is also Sanatan. It is eternal. Or Bharata has faced innumerable invasions, isn't it? And these were not invasions just for wealth. They tried to attack the core of our philosophy. They tried to, eradicate our principles, eradicate and separate us from our roots. So many attempts were made. What happened to all of them? Temples were destroyed, isn't it? Temples, so many thousands of temples were destroyed. People were killed. Worshippers who were seeking the divine, their tongues were cut for saying Suti of divine name because you didn't tell the name of my God. Such atrocities were committed. Yet today, Sanatan Dharma still thrives, isn't it? Upanishads were lost. So many of the Upanishads were lost. Newer Upanishads will come out because the source is there. And there is a guardian who is Sanatan. This understanding Arjuna has got only after seeing Vishwaroopa. This Sanatan is in front of him and he says, okay, boss, you are a guardian. I am not. You're actually a lot more powerful than I thought you would be. He says, the highest immaculate truth that by man can be known, the foundation upon which this universe has grown, the indestructible guardian of righteousness eternal. I believe thou art the one, celestial and supernal. So this, many times people in emotions, they try to drive you away from the truth. Arjuna was also doing the same thing, isn't it? But he was saying it in a different, sometimes justifying the cause. You must do this, you must do that. For this, you have to do. And for, he was saying, he was invoking Sanatana Dharma for running away from the duty of a Kshatriya, no? For doing the battle. But when Shanti comes in, clarity also comes. When the peace comes in, the clarity of thought, Vivek Buddhi gets Jagrut, Pragnya gets awakened, and he sees this supreme God guardian. He says, yes, you are the guardian. Anadimadhyantam Anantaviryam Anantabahum Shashisuryanetram Pashyami Tvam Deepta Hutashavakram Swatejasa Vishwamidam Tapantam. He says, thou hast neither beginning nor middle nor end. The universe burns with the heat that thy fires send. Thy arms infinite, and thy eyes are the sun and the moon, and thy faces appear to me like a blazing, fiery cocoon. This is, your face also looks like it's on fire only. There is Agni, it's like an inferno, that is all I can see. Means whatever grace, whatever quietude, whatever beauty, all that Arjuna was seeing in the start. He said, oh, Brahma looks so shant, so peaceful. Suddenly, this Rupa is no more giving him Shanti. Instead, he is going into the opposite. He is now getting afraid. He's like, oops, what did I ask? What did I ask for? What am I seeing? The Rupa has become what we call Ugra. So the Ugra Rupa is formed, and that is why Krishna, we all know only the Shanta Swabhav, no? So we don't know that there is an Ugra Rupa of Krishna. Tantrics also worship Krishna because of that only they understand who is Ugra Rupa. We don't want to go on the wrong side of that. Let's not go there. And Arjuna is for the first time seeing it. And we cannot blame Arjuna also, isn't it? Krishna has made him familiar with the other side of him only all the time. And because of familiarity, we sometimes take for granted. That is exactly what has happened here. He's taken him for granted and now he's like, oh no. We'll stop with two more shlokas. Dhyava prithivyor idamantaram hi vyaptam dvaikena dishascha sarvaha drushtvadbhutam rupamugram tadevam lokatrayam pravyathitam mahatman. The heavens, the earth, and all of space are but extensions of thy divine grace. So the entire Bhuloka, the Swargaloka, all the lokas, whatever we call the Trilokya, all the lokas are just extension of your grace, is what he says. By a vision of thy fairy form, only fear reigns amongst the skies, among the earths and the nether planes. This Vishwarupa is not just scaring me, Arjuna is saying. He's saying even in the heavens, Swargaloka, everything should be peaceful, isn't it? But no, there also the vibes of your this Ugra Rupa are spreading and causing panic. Bhuloka also, and even in the other Patal Loka also, the nether plane, there also we are experiencing it. We stop at the 21st Loka. Now, but my question is, everybody was saying we'll feel overwhelmed, we'll feel grateful, we'll feel thankful, we'll feel peaceful. Anybody, no negative emotion at all. But right now, with the Ugra Rupa taking place, will there be additional entry of different emotions? Yes,
Anxiety
anxiety, isn't it?
and
Suddenly,
disbelief. Disbelief, matlab, obviously a layman will go crazy.
it'll go crazy, isn't it? It's like, I
Yeah,
think, Anjaji, have you seen any storm anytime in life? Maybe
yeah,
from the windows and how the wind.
Scary.
Yes,
It's
yes,
yes.
scary.
yes. And this is not just
Scary.
storm. There's a storm also, there's an inferno also. Same time. And dimensions are also broken. He's forgetting, am I standing? Am I sitting? Am I in front? Am I floating? Because everywhere I'm just surrounded by this. And Arjuna is actually scared right now. And he says, not just me, the entire Srishti, every living creation is scared by the Ugra Rupa. We will look at the next shloka and we'll stop here. Ami tvam surasangha vishanti kechid bhitaha pranjalayo grinanti स्वस्तित्युक्त्वा महर्षि सिद्ध संगाः स्तुवन्ति त्वां स्तुतिभिः पुष्कलाभिः. The groups of demigods are all entering thee. So even the devas are also entering into this fire. He's seeing that. Both adoring and afraid I see. So even the devas are afraid. Forget mortals. It's all, ये तो अनचलेगा. भगवान भी डर रहे. What is the meaning of this? The liberated beings and sages, thy prayers sing hymns for the prosperity of every living thing. So we stop at the 21st shloka. But the Siddha Sanghas are not afraid. This is interesting. The Gita says, no, Devas are afraid, Manushya is afraid, Trailokya, there is Bhaya only of this Ugra Rupa. But the liberated sages, they are not afraid. Instead, they are singing prosperity. Prosperity for whom? For me, for my brother, for my cousin. But no, not for that cousin. Are they making that list? No. They are saying prosperity for everybody. For everybody, they are just, this is the divine, who is the, what we can say, Jagannatha is here. He will take care of everybody. What a brilliant world we are having, which is being taken care of by this Natha. I am able to understand, or something like that. They are singing stutis like Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, something like that. That prayer they must be singing. But my question is, why are they not afraid? Because everybody is afraid. We will hear in the next shloka that Rudras are like storms, huh? Like they are raging. The voice of the Rudra can be so shrill and sound. But Rudras also stop in front of this Vishwarupa. But now these Siddha Sanghas don't appear to be scared. Can someone tell me why? Could you guess why?
Because they have probably realized already the
Realized? They have also not seen the Vishwarupa. Everybody who is experiencing it is something like real time experiencing. Probably many are experiencing for the first time also. Everybody is scared naturally. Like as Anjali also said, any normal, ordinary person will feel afraid. But Siddha Sanghas are not afraid. That is something which is interesting because practically we want to become fearless in life. So if we can identify why they are not afraid, we might be able to draw a leaf from their book in everyday situations. But even in the Vishwarupa's great crazy Rupa, why do you think anybody, Vinita ji also, if you want to hamper a guess?
They see probably only their Ishta in the entire Vishwarupa also. What they see is just their Ishta image.
But all images are visible now in the Vishwarupa. There's this, imagine, no, you're standing in front of a storm and
Yes,
it's the
yes.
wind.
They,
That,
they have
yeah,
control over their emotions and they are detached from.
detached. That is Vairagya. They have
Probably
already
they've surrendered also. That's why
they've
they're
Yeah.
not
surrendered.
scared.
Yes,
Like, you have
yes,
created me, you know what is happening. I'm not scared. That's it.
yes, yes, yes. Why should I
Yeah,
be
he is
afraid?
there. They feel he is there to save me. As he is
Yes, yes,
showing me, equally will
yes.
take care of me
हाँ,
in
it's
the
like,
storm.
हाँ हाँ कृष्णा, ज्यादा और अग्नि दिखाओ, जितना दिखाना है, मुझे नहीं जलाओगे,
You
तुम
are
मेरे कृष्णा हो.
uh,
That is simple as that, isn't it? Something like that. They've got that vairagya. Because of vairagya, they're not afraid. They're not afraid of losing anything. Why? They've already lost everything to the divine, isn't it? They surrendered everything to the divine, their most favorite positions, everything. Or they were also aliens. No, they were not aliens, isn't it? Siddha Sanghas also are born, all of us, like us human beings only, isn't it? Living normal lives, suddenly driven by the call of the divine, and then following their path. But with zero attachment. So when there is zero attachment, there is no fear at all, no fear of losing. If I have 0 rupees in my pocket, can I be worried about pickpockets? Not possible. I say, chalo, chalo, come, try. If you find, I will. If you find, take it. If you find some money, I'll be more happy for you. Please search. This is a baggy pant. There are 10 pockets. I would request you to search all 10 pockets. Get one coin also. You will be given an award. Something like that. There's no fear of losing. This aspect is there. So even the Ugra Rupa, which is, you see, even the Devas are getting scared because somewhere there has become that is why it is said that they're typal beings. We use the word typal beings because they've reached one state of consciousness, but they become separate. They've become distinct. They've become distinct from the divine. We also are distinct, isn't it? I am connected with the divine when there is requirement for promotion, when there is requirement for transfer, or when there is a requirement for some wish to be fulfilled. Please do that. Remaining time, no, we are not connected. So what happens? Oh no, what will happen? मेरा promotion होगा कि नहीं? That question will come in. Or no, well, tomorrow's promotion, no, will my company stand in front of this storm or not? That entire our view changes. As long as we have attachments, those attachments will make us vulnerable, will create moments where we are afraid. The Siddha Sanghas had identified the secret. Because they got that secret, they were free and happy. That is one thing which we can draw if we want to keep. Yes, our Vishwarupa is there. It is our Aradhya who is showing it. Is he going to kill us just because we asked for show me the
no.
Vishwarupa? Not at all. Not at all. Instead, wow, this Vishwarupa is my Sarathi. All right, nice. Lage raho.
He will
You
take
can
care.
tell him. Yeah, he will take care. He will take care. So with this, we conclude today because this Rupa is not going to stop here. It's going to get more and more gory. I would say if there are kids, maybe next first half at least, you can keep them away because it will become a little scarier. That is the what we can say the nature of this Vishwarupa. An important principle also will be taught in this Vishwarupa Darshan also about sadhana, about the question of bhaya, no? This adhyay is having a roller coaster of emotions, but the importance or non-importance of bhaya, importance of dvesha or not, because many times people say, no, for Sanatana Dharma, you should have hatred. Should we have hatred is a big question. People say, no, don't read the spiritual scriptures. Now is not the time to read spiritual scriptures. Now is the time for you to attack and act immediately. Krishna is telling this in the middle of battlefield. Arjuna is being given the jnana, no? So that he takes part in the yuddha. It is not taking us away. Vairagya, people confuse it. People say it will make you vairagya means it will make you less connected from the material, less connected from the people, less connected from your family. Many people even advise, don't read Gita. Don't read Gita, otherwise you will start. You'll have Mahabharata in your home. That was a dialogue I heard from so many people. If you read Gita, you will create Mahabharata in your home. That's a false statement. You will actually avoid. You will not. You will not be Dhritarashtra if you read the Gita. You will learn. You will learn certain things. So many things. But these are all misconceptions. So about Bhaya, right now at least our Arjuna, he's got his darshana, but it's getting scary. So probably we should be careful what we ask also sometimes. He didn't know this is what is going to happen. But you see, Sanatanastam Purusha Matome is what he has declared. The Dharma is Sanatan. So with this, I conclude. Can someone just share a few points if you can recollect something, some take-home points from this first part of the Vishwarupa Darshana? And we then conclude with the Shanti Mantra. Anybody?
Arjuna, from hearing, he wants to see. So that's when the Vishwarupa begins. And
And
he's
beautifully he asks, no? Means Arjuna is the best advocate. If you want to push your agenda, you can towards our Aradhya also. Let us follow Arjuna's principles. Unabashedly ready to ask. "Hey, Bhagwan, you can do it. You can forgive me. You can manifest this. This
probably
is
after Krishna has told him that, among Pandavas I'm Arjuna, he got that
got
courage to
boasted.
tell him.
Dhairya, isn't it? Okay. Right. Yes, Rajrupaji. So that was one point. Anybody else would like to add something?
Like in order to have that divine's grace, one has to become a Supatra.
Yeah, we should
Otherwise,
have.
each and every person is not ready to receive that kind of knowledge or wisdom.
He's willing to give, but we are not ready to receive, isn't it?
Yes. मतलब वो देख के भी आंखें बंद कर लेते हैं ना बहुत बार हम कोई
Yes, yes.
समझा भी रहा होगा ज्ञान तो we are
No,
in a
अभी
deluded
नहीं.
state.
Yes. So we have to become adhikaris of the
Exactly.
Jnana. We have to
Yeah.
become adhikaris. We have to become patra.
We have to be willing and then we have to believe what we are saying,
But what if we
what
don't
we are
have the
seeing.
capacity? What if we have the aspiration but don't have the capacity?
Then we have to raise our vibrations
We have to
and
raise our vibration.
try walking on the spiritual path.
So attempts have to be made. But who will grant us the
Exactly.
capacity?
What? Pardon?
Who will grant us that capacity?
The divine only.
So again,
We
his
have to
headache.
ask him. Yes.
Yeah, that is all. We just become more sincere. They
Exactly.
know.
It is just a circular motion, like उसी
Yes,
के
yes,
बीच में. We
yes,
have to
yes.
reach
And
there and we have to take his help only.
yes, and it is actually a motion which is not just
Yeah,
moving, it is for higher progress, isn't it? Rising.
exactly.
It is dadami buddhi yogam tam, divyam dadami te chakshuhu. Everything you need, he is going to give you. So that is one more thing. Yes, anybody would like to add some more? We don't know the power of the divine. We underestimate it many times. Raw power is too raw for us to handle. So probably we are happy with our Radha's Saumya Rupa. Like there are prarthanas also. Shanta ho, Shri Gurudatta, Shanta ho. So remain peaceful. I don't want your, just give your grace. That is sufficient. Because this is divine strength. We don't have, we're not capable of challenging also. We're not capable of challenging. Somewhere Arjuna understood. No, I thought I am so important. I thought I'm so powerful. I thought, and Arjuna was powerful, isn't it? So he's not wrong in thinking he's powerful. But he's not so powerful that he's going to alter the course of the universe. That strength is somewhere higher, and that is the divine. And Arjuna got the darshana. So, I mean, Ashtanga Namaskara. So let us see. Darshana is just beginning. Arjuna's happy Mumi is suddenly having a horror entry right now. It's going to become a little bit more gory as the darshana becomes clearer. So with this we conclude with the Shanti Mantra. Hari Om. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Hari Om Tat Sat. Krishnam Vande Jagat Kurum. Hari Om. This is actually my favorite adhyay because there's so many in the Gita only you can see the movement of so many movement of emotions also, the movement as well, and slowly it's quite dynamic. It's not just a static darshana, continuous movement and transformation, changes. It's there in this adhyaya. Yes, Ji. All right. Hari Om. We continue. We look at tomorrow then. If anybody has any queries, we'll look at it. Otherwise, namaskar.
Hari Om. While
Hari Om.
reading this only, you
Yes.
feel all goosebumps, and when you are reading the Sanskrit part of it, it feels
Ji.
like speechless. You don't have anything in your mind. It's like just
Ji.
speechless. And
Ji.
what Arjuna actually must have felt, I can't even
Yes.
imagine it.
Imagine.
1/4 of the capacity also. I feel, or maybe lesser
Yes.
than that.
Yes, but that is the advantage of the Gita, isn't it? Anytime we can go back to it. We can just look at this and see, and each of this shlokas, if we go deeper, we can get even greater, connections. And when we connect it with our life, it becomes more. So yes, Vidisha ji, it is something very special, and we're lucky. Arjuna, because of Arjuna, we got it, no? Otherwise, how is it? How will the Gita come? Yes.
And
All
because
right.
of you, we got it. We
Sri
can say that.
Krishnarpanam, Sri Krishnarpanam, Hari Om. Yes, ji.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om. Yeah, if there are no queries, we'll conclude. Namaskaram. Ji. Hari Om.